Hey, Joe.
Hey, Nicole.
Miss, you're on fire.
Very original. No, I do not want to stop, drop, and roll with you.
No, your book is on fire.
Oh my God.
Alcohol and flames, they like each other. Cold days.
Kelly Jones.
Public support for the moon mission is rock bottom.
Every day, something is breaking.
And we're dead. Again.
Yeah, or blowing up.
The space program is a bloated mess.
NASA needs a marketing specialist, and you are the very best.
Excuse me? What are you doing here?
I tracked you down because I felt we had a connection.
What?
I'm joking. I work here now to sell the moon.
NASA's not something that you sell with a jingle and a slogan.
When I'm done, those men are going to be bigger than the Beatles.
Who is that?
For me, this is very personal.
He's got my name.
You told me that your guys don't do interviews, so I had to hire new guys.
I'm here for the casting. Who's he?
You're a juicy part.
60 missions in Korea.
I flew 52 missions in Korea.
I flew 52 missions in Korea. How's that?
What?
The whole world will be watching. We can't afford to lose to the Russians. We need to shoot the backup version of the moon landing.
You mean to fake it? No one can ever know what we're doing.
I cannot accept that.
They will shoot you.
What is my budget?
Oh, boy.
I know a lot more about the moon than I know about you. Give me go, no go for launch. If you fake this mission, every single thing that we have sacrificed will have been for nothing.
You know you couldn't have made it to this day without me.
4, 3, 2, 1.
And
My Armstrong is a whiny little bitch. We have to recast.
I think we should have gotten Kubrick.
Boom, there you go. That was a trailer for Fly Me to the Moon, arriving in theaters on July 12th from Sony Pictures as well as Apple Films. Because I think pretty soon, if you don't catch it in theaters, they will have it on Apple TV Plus. I think this is a theatrical experience, if you will. You know, I think we need to also save our theaters. It's a good kind of crowd type film, but if you can't make it, it will be coming to Apple TV. I'm Kuya P. This is Nerds Rule the World. Joining me to talk all things Fly Me to the Moon is my pal Ashley Saunders with Ashley & Co. How are you, Ashley?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm wonderful, my friend. It's a pleasure to have you back and chat up some more films again. This one, just to give a cursory thing to everyone before we get into it. For me personally, Ashley and I are in the DC area. When we went to see this and screen this, everything was against this film. I'm just going to say it. And so that's why I just want to give the credit to this film. It should only take from myself to where we were screening this film at 30 to 45 minutes to get to the place. But because we have the NATO summit occurring in the DC area, it literally took me almost 3 hours. I think I clocked it about 2:45 because I left my house at like 4:30. I got there almost 7 o'clock, which was when the screening started. That's
wild.
Just insane. It's insane,
only,
actually.
Only in the DC market are you like, man, I'm running late to a screening because NATO's in town.
Exactly. So anyway, with that being said, I enjoyed the film, but we'll get into our thoughts. Let me give you a brief synopsis as well as a little bit about the cast, who we have in this. This film is, I was going to say based on a true story, but it's not. It's based on real events. Although I'm intrigued because there's certain people and things that they brought up that I'm like, oh, I know about that. I know about that. So it made me want to do some research, and I didn't do that in time for this review. So just FYI, you know, there might be things you're like, okay, but no. But Fly Me to the Moon is about a publicist played by Scarlett Johansson. She's right there, who you see across from Channing Tatum. She's this superstar publicist doing it up in New York, who then gets reached out by Woody Harrelson, who works for the government, to help with the NASA program because they're trying to sell NASA to the public. It's getting a bad image. A lot of their first Apollo mission, Apollo 1, people passed away. There's been other kind of failed attempts, and it's a very expensive program. And to sell it to the public, they need a master strategist, a master publicist that Scarlett Johansson is. So they bring her on board. They bring her down to Florida, Cocoa Beach to be exact, to meet with Channing Tatum, who is the flight director at this NASA base where we do all things nautical, if you will. So it's a kind of a film that just follows the space race. It follows, her trying to assist Channing, although a little bit apprehensive because he's an old school guy. He's a very clean cut guy. Whereas, publicists, Ashley and I deal with many publicists. We know the ins and outs of publicists. It's all about, getting the word out, despite what made things seem in a lot of different ways. But Scarlett just has a great time in this role, man. She just kills it. And we have also Ray Romano in this, who's part of the flight team with Channing Tatum. We see, again, the Apollo 11 mission. It's the core to the story. We have our fake Neil Armstrong. We have Buzz Aldrin. We have David Collins. Just some similar names that people will know. And just they use a lot of stuff based on true events. And then also, is the moon landing fake? Is it not? That's also been a story throughout time and history. And so that plays into all of this. I want to give a shout out to Greg Berlanti, who is the director on this. You probably know him from 1,000,001 CW shows. He's amazing there. He's the director on this. We also have Keenan Flynn, Bill Kirstein on the script, as well as Rose Gilroy, who did the screenplay. That's your creative team. Again, I mentioned Woody Harrelson, Ray Romano, Jim Rash, who I'm sure Ashley's going to give you so much love and talk about him up to the nth degree. He's our director, if you will, in our in a lot of the sequences. We also have Anna Garcia, who's the assistant to Scarlett, who I love her character. She had she had a couple pieces in there that was really hitting. And that's your basic cast and crew. There's a lot more. And as I always say, it takes a village to make a film. So while I highlighted those individuals, it was an amazing cast and crew that delivered this great film. And there's your basic story synopsis without spoiling, because I can sometimes. And so I think I succeeded there. I don't think I spoiled too much. And your cast. Let me throw it now to Ashley. Ashley, were you aware of this film coming to be? I think we did some trailer reactions on NRW, but then at the same time, I felt like I didn't know that this was coming. And here we are. And I was very pleasantly surprised.
I feel like I heard about it fairly recently. I didn't know about it for a super long time.
Okay.
But I'm not a rom-com kind of girl. I love The Proposal. That's probably the greatest rom-com out there. Because you can't beat Betty White dancing to the Yin Yang Twins. You can't. And Lil Jon. So anyways, but I love ScarJo. I'll watch her in pretty much anything she does. So when I watched the first trailer really leaned into the rom-com part. I feel like the final trailer was more of the drama, the space story behind it. I was like, okay, they're cute together. I like the vibe. He's very much the strict, grumpy guy, and she's just very bubbly and well, I don't care if you I'm gonna make you smile, basically. It was very much that dynamic, and I was pleasantly surprised at how much I actually liked it. I was like, it'll be cute, and it is cute, but it's adorable, and it's so much fun, and there's actually quite a bit of touching moments in it too. And I was like, oh, this is actually a good movie, beyond just it's fun. So
my sentiment is exactly. I was ready to hate it. I'm like, there's no chance it's going to be good after being in the car and all of that. I'm like, and it left me, I was smiling because of just the way they played off. ScarJo, probably one of her best performances I've seen. She's great, but I think she really had fun in the role. You could tell. And then how she was able to switch from I I guess, her base character mode to where then she has to be a Southern belle with a specific accent from a specific area. Like, she turned it on, and just also,
So good.
men, we are dumb idiots, and rightfully so. But and how like women really are. Y'all are everything. You know what I'm saying? Men always get put into the spotlight, but to me, women run the show. Y'all are behind a lot of many of our important moments throughout history. And so to see that also is I think great optically, because I'm raising a young woman, and I think this film was very pleasantly surprising. I was smiling from ear to ear, and then there's tender moments. And just how everything portrayed out the bits of history. I'm a history buff, so like NASA this, and then the first mission people pass, and that was kind of like a driving force for Channing Tatum's character to get it right and to just stick to his guns. I like that, even though he loved there's parts, I don't want to spoil the story, like there's this possible relationship with ScarJo, but no, I'm this way, and if you're gonna go because you follow the money or follow this, no, I'm this way. He was steadfast to that. I just think it was really well done, and all the characters that we received were great. I don't think I try to edit as a filmmaker, like, oh, can this piece go there? But no, every piece connected, everything played its part, and it was just a great presentation. Yeah.
I also say, like, I love a good historical film, or something that has the history. This isn't a historical film, but you know what I mean? Like, it has the historical aspects. When you already know how it's going to end, but they still make me care and make me feel like it might not happen. Yeah. I obviously know we successfully landed on the moon with Apollo 11. But
I don't know about that, Heather. I'm a conspiracy theorist too.
Oh my God, stop. There was no cat, you're fine. But
I love how they played that angle to us.
Yes.
I think they did that angle still to a degree. I've worked for the government in different respects, and I've seen a lot of different things. I think they walked that fine line that just was really well done.
But yeah, it made me excited and like, ooh, like they're gonna land on the moon, even though I know they landed on the moon. So it's just like I like when a film that I already know at least part of how it's gonna end can still make me care how we get there. Yeah. And I think it made me care enough. And space is not, I love Star Wars, but it's not like space. I've never dreamed of being an astronaut. Like, that's not my deal. But it made me care, and it made me be like, oh, they gotta hurry up, and they gotta do this, and like everybody's gotta agree that they gotta launch. And it was just like, I could feel it, that anticipation. And that was good. It was exciting.
Yeah, it made us go through all the emotions. We were laughing, we were crying, and in certain respects, and cheering. Yeah, it was cool. All the range of emotions. I know you have a particular favorite character, and I just also want to spotlight that out. Any favorite moment and or favorite character. I think we're both in love with a particular character that we half mentioned earlier, but if you want to go more there, Ashley.
I mean, yes. You said ScarJo, she was great. I loved watching her slip in to the different roles that she was playing, and she really got to lean into her comedic side, and she's so good with that. She needs more opportunities to do so. But Jim Rash. So in the trailers, if you watch the trailers, Jim Rash is her friend that's the director of the fake moon landing. And he's so good in this role that I want to see him by himself playing this character, recording stuff. He's so great. We cracked up, I think, every time he was on screen. It didn't even matter if he was just not even speaking, his mannerisms. My daughter watched it with me last night, and we were talking about him on the way home, and just his scenes, like, I'm sitting now, Joseph, I'm sitting. And just I can't see Joseph, you're just gonna have to find me. And he's like swinging his arm, and it's so good. And I want to see the bloopers from his moments, because I don't know how they kept a straight face with the level of
we need the Blu-ray DVD behind the scenes cuts when it eventually gets a home release, because that was insane. Just even figuring out who Joseph was going to be out of the row, without spoiling, but just, you're going to be Joseph, and come here, Joseph. Yeah, just
and I'm calling you Joseph so you can't get offended.
Yes, yes, that was money. That was money. He was, I love it.
He was
especially with one of my things too, drawbacks going into it, I have to say that I was a little nervous of period piece as a person of color. We're going to be tokenized, and there was a quote unquote token representation in there, but we at least had, LGBTQ representation, and with Rash just stealing his scenes, I'm like, okay.
Oh my God. He stole
it.
the whole movie. Every time he was on the screen, I was like, oh my, I want to watch it. I need to watch it again because we were all laughing. I missed like half of what he said because he was still talking.
Exactly.
We were laughing. So
that snark is just classic. Yeah. And you miss stuff when you get, because you got me laughing already. I know I'm going to be laughing with the next piece, but a lot of great moments. It made me want to dive into my history books to just do some research, but yeah, very pleasantly surprised. And as I was saying earlier, a theatrical experience, while it's coming to Apple TV, go check it out in theaters. This is one you'll enjoy with crowd. I think everybody in our screening, Ashley, just, you felt the vibe, we all dealt with traffic. Everyone dealt with,
yes.
I'm sure that came and dealt with the traffic. The heat, it's hot out there, y'all. Stay hydrated. But everybody felt like it was a very pleasant experience. It just was a vibe. We definitely have good vibes, and that says a lot. I got to give credit to the film.
Yeah. I think everybody enjoyed it, and I think it's a good date night film. It's a good girls' night out film.
Oh yeah.
You can take your kids to it. It's not like there's anything inappropriate. There's like a couple of language, like I think the F word is said once, and then like there's a couple S words, but really it's not the worst I've ever seen under the PG-13 banner. But yeah, so like I said, my teen, she really liked it. She thought it was great. So I think it's a good all around, it's a good film. And like you said, it made me curious to like actually go and be like, okay, well, who was real and who wasn't real, or who might this person have been based on, kind of thing. So it got the nerdy side of me to be like, I need to go research.
There you go. Yeah. And if a movie invokes all of that out of you, to take you on a ride of emotions, and then to make you want to dig into more of what they presented, to me, that's a win. So there you go, y'all. That's our review of Fly Me to the Moon. Thank you so much, Ashley, for joining me again to talk up, some of these projects we get the blessing to check out for the people. You're gonna have a written review, I believe, on your site and everything,
yes.
And just all the stuff that you do. How can my people check you out and support you?
You can check me out on my website at withashleyandco.com, which will have all my socials, but I'm active on Twitter under that Ashley Aaron, where I'm usually just like, ooh, geeky stuff. Let me just talk about it all the time. I also have a podcast that I co-host, The Geek Girls Universe. We actually just had Patrick on, so you'll have to check that out when it comes out. We were talking geeking out over movies and TV shows. So
there you go. Ashley is the best. Please go support her, subscribe, do all the things. I'm gonna have all her links in the description below. Go check her out, and go check out Fly Me to the Moon. It's definitely a recommendation. Was just so happy that it was so good because of everything. It turned my frown upside down, and I hope all things can do that. We go to films to escape. This was a great one, and definitely going to recommend this one. So there you go, y'all. Ashley, your boy Kuya P, Nerds Rule the World. Fly me to the moon. What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Kuya P, Nerds Rule the World. Just got out of the press screening for Fly Me to the Moon. Initial thoughts coming out of it. Dope. Very pleasantly surprised. I really enjoyed this movie.
very entertaining. Scarlett Johansson, Channing Tatum, killed it. I just really enjoyed the whole cast. Ray Romano, there's a bunch of stars in this, but the story based on true events, the NASA landing, faking the landing, possibly, who knows? But just really well written. I was laughing, I was crying, I was inspired. I actually want to go do some research, learn a little bit more about just some of the true events that this was based upon, but definitely check out Fly Me to the Moon, hitting theaters on July 12th. You're not going to want to miss this one. Really a good movie. I'll be talking all about it on the radio. Probably have a full review up on the channel with some friends of mine. So check it out. When it hits theaters, Fly Me to the Moon. Definitely a great film for 2024. Your boy QP, Nerds Rule the World.